Good evening and welcome to News 20. I'm Shay Simon.
And I'm Malia Wilkerson. Tallahassee police officer Vincent Crump has been terminated for allegedly sexually assaulting a motorist. The news came from Tallahassee Police Chief Michael DeLeo in a news conference Sunday morning. The alleged assault occurred on Saturday night, and the officer was fired immediately following the report. A man has been accused of stabbing and killing his mother, according to the Leon County Sheriff's Office. 22-year-old Alexander Sparks stabbed his mother on the 4th floor of Capital Regional Medical Center Friday. Nurses were alerted to the assault when they noticed her heart monitor beeping. Her son was taken to the Leon County Detention Facility and charged with homicide. Will Florida schools remain on edge after last week's deadly mass shooting in Parkland? With an update on the fallout, we turn to Brea. Brea Hollingsworth, what is going on?
Yes, Aaliyah, a local teen was arrested in regards to a school threat made towards Godby High School. The student wrote on his Instagram account that he was going to shoot up Godby High on February 23rd of 2018. Law enforcement was immediately notified. And in neighboring Wakulla County, charges have been dropped against a local teen who threatened Wakulla County schools on his Snapchat account using an assault rifle. The state attorney's office has since dropped the case, stating that they could not make a case against him. That's all I have for you today. Live in the Multimedia Newsroom, I'm Brea Hollingsworth. Back to you at the...
Thank you for that update, Brea. Governor Rick Scott's office has requested additional security at schools citing safety issues.
Good news, Tallahassee residents. You can now expect its first outlet mall as early as 2019. The project is a massive 300-acre development to be located off of Interstate 10 along Capitol Circle Northeast. Residents can expect 700 residential units, restaurants, a hotel, and yes, an outlet mall. The project is expected to take approximately 9 months. Contractors will break ground early next year.
Well, music, entrepreneurship, and tradition are only a few words that describe this year's Harambee Festival. I had the opportunity to see what the word Harambee really meant. The sounds of the African drums, the shining of traditional African jewelry, the laughter of Tallahassee residents enjoying each other's company is what Florida A&M University's 3rd annual Harambee Festival brought to the Tallahassee community. According to Sydney Brown, fellowshipping with the Tallahassee community at Cascades Park was her favorite part of the weekend.
And I'm out here at the Harambee Festival, fellowshipping, socializing, and meeting Leon County constituents. I'm meeting people from Gadsden County, Wakulla County. It's a wonderful time out here and a lot of exposure.
With about 5,000 participants from the Southeast, vendors like 14-year-old Jasmine Patrick found the Harambee Festival a supportive place to start her business.
Design myself. I drew the pattern myself, and it says us girls can make history because we can empower ourselves to basically be on top in pretty much everything.
The goal for this year's festival, according to Charlene Balewa, is to honor and inspire heritage and tradition while creating a weekend getaway.
Us as a community, we forget to do that at times, and I just think that events like this remind us about who we are and where we come from and all the beautiful talents that we display.
The Harambee Festival has culturally evolved over time and has no plans on stopping. So if you missed it this year, grab a friend, meet with your neighbors at the same place and the same time next year.
Aaliyah, it looks like you had a good time out there.
I really did. Shay, the best part was the food. The rib sandwiches, oh my goodness.
I definitely missed out.
Me too. Well, coming up on News 20 at 5.
The latest out of the CPAC convention.
And Angelicia Bruton has your Bruton's Brew.
Stay tuned. You're watching News 20.
Welcome back.
And thanks for sticking with us. A couple is dead after an apartment caught on fire. An arrest has been made for their murder. 18-year-old Aaron Berryman admitting to killing and burning their Southeast Memphis apartment. He's been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of Brandon and Regina Allen. The flames broke out at the Clearbrook Apartments around 12 p.m. and a neighbor reported that she heard a disturbance outside the apartment. She said shots were fired, police were called, and moments later, the apartment caught fire. After a brief foot chase, Berryman was detained by officers.
It's been nearly a week and there's still no sign of a missing 5-year-old Kansas boy. Crews resumed their search for Lucas Hernandez for the 6th day Friday. They scoured a park in Wichita but did not find anything. Hernandez was last seen at his home last Saturday, and his stepmother has been arrested for suspicion of child endangerment, but she has not yet been officially charged.
The chairman of the Federal Communications Commission has received the Courage Under Fire Award by the National Rifle Association. The NRA awarded the chairman for his efforts while overseeing the controversial repeal of net neutrality last year. With the honor came a handmade rifle. The second NRA president says the rifle is awarded to those who stood up under pressure with grace and dignity and principled discipline. After a heated phone call with President Trump, it seems as though the planned visit for Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto is now off. During the conversation, the Mexican president reportedly called off the trip because Trump refused to publicly affirm Mexico's position on a border wall, specifically that Mexico will not pay for it. The visit had initially been planned for March. A White House official confirmed to CNN that the visit will not take place as planned.
Hello, I'm Angelicia Bruton with your Bruton's Brew. Let's get into what's brewing today. A senior U.S. State Department official says plans are underway to move the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem in May. The symbolically important move is likely a first step in a larger relocation plan initiated in December. The U.S. will temporarily use an existing U.S. facility in Jerusalem while permanent relocation plans proceed. It's also a move condemned by the international community, as both Israel and the Palestinians claim Jerusalem as their historic capital. North and South Korea agreed Sunday that relations between the U.S. and North Korea need to develop together with the help of South Korea. According to a statement from the Blue House, South Korea President Moon met with a high-level delegation from North Korea, including the vice president of the Central Committee of the Korean Labor Party and chairman of the ruling Grand National Party, who visited South Korea to attend the closing ceremony of the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. In Syria, rebel-held territory, there was another day of intense bombardment despite passage of a United Nations resolution calling for a 30-day ceasefire. Activists say Syrian government forces launched blistering air and ground attacks against rebel forces Sunday. The Syrian regime says it is targeting terrorists. That's all we have for your international news. I'm Angelicia Bruton.
Good afternoon and welcome to eLive. I'm Kayla Lawson here with the latest in your entertainment news. Rapper NBA YoungBoy was arrested Saturday night in Tallahassee for an outstanding felony warrant, including kidnapping. YoungBoy had a scheduled appearance at the Moon nightclub in Tallahassee, but he never showed. It is reported that cops came in contact with YoungBoy on his tour bus for reasons that are unclear, and when they ran the rapper's record, they discovered he was a fugitive from Georgia for allegedly committing assault, weapons violations, and kidnapping. He is scheduled to appear in court on Monday. The year of Tiffany Haddish continues. On Thursday, MTV rerouted the Girls Trip Breakout to host its annual movie and TV awards. She follows in the footsteps of recent hosts including Kevin Hart, who emceed with Dwayne Johnson, Amy Schumer, Conan O'Brien, and last year's host, Adam Levine. Haddish announced it via a video on her Instagram account. The news comes the same week that Netflix announced that it too was getting into the Haddish business. The streaming service issued a straight-to series order on an animated project with the actress attached to voice-lead a character. The MTV Awards is set for Monday, June 18th at 9 p.m. Snapchat has faced a backlash from fans, hoping the chat app reverts back to its old design, and many users are now turning to its major rival, Instagram. More than 1 million people have signed a petition calling on Snap Incorporated owners of the iOS and Android app to revert back to the old Snapchat design. The biggest shakeup was the recent Snapchat update brought was how it changed the stories page. Social data analysts like Folio have been analyzing the reaction on Twitter to Snapchat's big update. Their study showed almost 80% of all tweets about Snapchat are negative. There has been no clear rise in Instagram downloads, but it has such a large user base that most people switching over already had the app to begin with. That's it for your entertainment news. We'll be right back after this break.
Now, as we move into the next 5 days, we can see the temperatures fluctuating up and down. Tuesday, our high is 72 degrees with a low of 56. Wednesday, we'll be experiencing some partly cloudy skies with a high of 77 and a low of 65. Thursday, our high is 80 with a low of 51. Friday will be mostly cloudy with a high of 69 and a low of 44. And Saturday, we can expect our high to be 71 with a low of 44. Now, that's all I have for your weather report. See you all at the desk.
Welcome back. I'm Brandon Jones, and currently I'm live in the Al Lawson Center as FAMU basketball prepares to take on South Carolina State tonight. Both teams were in action against North Carolina A&T Aggies this past weekend, but there were quite different results. We'll lead off with the men who picked up a second straight win after last week's victory over Delaware State. The Rattlers were feeling it from tip-off. Shots that haven't been falling this season were all money. Marcus Barham and Desmond Williams were in their bag all game and put up 22 points each. Point guard Elijah Hayes showed up big as well with an 18-point, 7-assist performance, and Nick Severato had a solid contribution of 8 points and 9 rebounds. The game was close throughout, but the men's team held off the Aggies for an 83-77 win.
Coffee flavored just like the Girl Scouts' iconic cookies. Participating restaurants nationwide will offer coffee in 3 famous Girl Scout cookie flavors: Thin Mint, Coconut Caramel, and Peanut Butter Cookie. The coffee company unveiled the flavors last week in a Facebook Live event from Savannah, Georgia, and that's where the Girl Scouts got their start.
Well, Shay, that sounds delicious, and that's going to do it for us today. For Michaela and Brandon, who's live, I'm Aaliyah Wilkerson.
And I'm Shay Simon. Thanks for watching, and remember to also follow us at the FAMU and online at the TV20 tab. Have a great afternoon.